Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into something really interesting and kind of controversial too. We're talking about Kenya.
Kenya.
Yeah, specifically we're looking at M-Pesa, their mobile money system. It's been this incredible success story.
Right. M-Pesa, absolutely. They've been leading the way in financial technology, really set the bar high for digital inclusion.
Exactly. I was reading that by 2020 they had over 200,000 businesses using Lipa Na M-Pesa, which is just one part of the whole system.
It's mind-boggling, isn't it? And over 6 million customers using it, too. Those numbers are huge.
Huge. And think about it, especially during COVID, M-Pesa really proved its worth. Contactless payments were essential.
Absolutely. They were ahead of the curve, that's for sure. Businesses could handle higher transaction limits, felt more secure.
And it integrated seamlessly, didn't it, with their existing systems, I mean.
Yeah, it really did. Especially for those small and medium-sized businesses, it was a game changer.
But, and this is where things get a little tricky, the Kenyan government is now introducing these new tax policies.
Ah, yes. Aimed at M-Pesa transactions specifically. And there's been, well, let's just say not everyone's thrilled about it.
Yeah, the articles we read highlighted some major concerns. Businesses are worried about increased costs, which makes sense.
Especially with the finance bill of 2023. There was a noticeable spike in transaction charges after that was passed.
And then there's that deadline coming up, December 25th, 2024.
Right. Moses Kuria, he's a top economic advisor over there, said all M-Pesa pay bills have to be registered as tax registers by then.
Talk about pressure. But before we get into all the potential downsides, I wanted to touch on this whole Laffer Curve idea.
The Laffer Curve, sure, yeah. That's about how there's an optimal tax rate, right?
Right. And if a government taxes too much, they could actually end up making less money because it discourages economic activity.
Exactly. Both articles kind of hinted that Kenya might be, well, maybe not quite there yet, but getting close to that danger zone.
It's like they're walking a tightrope, and we're down here holding our breath.
A bit dramatic, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out.
So let's talk about those potential downsides, because they're kind of serious.
Oh, yeah. This isn't just theoretical. This is going to have a real impact on people.
Exactly. And it's the small businesses, the ones who really embraced M-Pesa, they're the ones who could end up getting hurt the most.
Yeah, that's the irony, right? They've been the drivers of this whole mobile money revolution in Kenya.
And now it's like, I don't know, like you built this amazing engine for growth, and then someone comes along and says, well, time to start taxing the fuel.
And it's not just about the money either, is it? It's about trust.
Oh, that's huge EE.
When businesses feel like the government isn't on their side, well, that's a recipe for trouble.
Exactly. It makes you wonder, like, will people start trying to find ways around the system?
It's a possibility. One of the articles we read, it actually highlighted that moving away from mobile money, maybe going back to cash, that could make businesses more vulnerable.
How so?
Think about it. Suddenly, they're dealing with security risks, having to handle all that cash.
Oh, yeah. Not to mention the inconvenience. I mean, we've gotten so used to the ease of digital transactions.
Right. And let's not forget the potential for, shall we say, less than transparent bookkeeping if people start feeling like they have to cut corners.
It's like they're creating the very problem they're trying to solve.
It's a classic unintended consequence for sure. And then there's the whole privacy issue.
Oh, right. With the M-Pesa paybills becoming tax registers.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. The government needs its revenue, but that felt a little, I don't know.
Like Big Brother is watching.
Yeah, a little bit. It raises some serious questions about how much access is too much.
Okay, so we've talked about the downsides, but is there another way? Can Kenya find a way to balance these needs?
That's the million-dollar question, and I don't think it's an easy answer. But let's explore some alternatives, see if we can brainstorm some solutions.
All right, let's do it. So where do we go from here? We've talked about the potential pitfalls, the concerns that people have, but there have to be other options, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's easy to get caught up in the negative, but there are definitely alternative approaches that Kenya could consider.
Like what? Give me some hope here.
Well, for starters, instead of just focusing on enforcement, what about incentivization?
Incentives.
Exactly. Like, what if they offered tax breaks or other benefits to businesses that voluntarily register and demonstrate tax compliance? Make it worth their while to play by the rules.
Oh, I like that. It's like rewarding good behavior instead of just punishing bad behavior.
Exactly. And it could be really effective, especially for those smaller businesses who are just trying to get by. Make it easier for them to do the right thing.
It's like that old saying, you can catch more flies with honey than with vinegar.
Precisely. But let's be real, even with incentives, not everyone's going to be thrilled about paying taxes.
True, true. So how do you get buy-in from those who might be a bit more, shall we say, resistant?
Education, that's another big one. Make sure businesses, particularly the small business owners, actually understand their tax obligations.
Oh, that's a good point. It's hard to comply with rules you don't understand.
Exactly. And not just the what, but the why. Help them see how those taxes benefit everyone, how they contribute to better roads, schools, hospitals, all those things that make a difference.
Transparency is key, isn't it?
Mhm.
When you can see where your money is going, you're much more likely to feel good about it.
Absolutely. It builds trust and it fosters a sense of shared responsibility. It's not just about the government taking something from you, it's about everyone contributing to something bigger.
It's about being part of a community
Uh-huh, right.
and working together to build a better future.
Exactly. So instead of Kenya potentially jeopardizing its success story with these new tax policies, maybe they can turn this into an opportunity.
An opportunity.
Yeah, an opportunity to not only solidify their position as a fintech leader, but to also create a more stable and prosperous future for everyone.
Wow. When you put it like that, it sounds like they're at a crossroads.
They are. And the path they choose will have a huge impact, not just on Kenya, but potentially on the entire world of fintech. It's a fascinating case study in how innovation and regulation can sometimes collide.
It really makes you think. This whole conversation has been such an eye-opener. We started off talking about Kenya's incredible mobile money success, and now we're here talking about taxes, unintended consequences, the delicate balance between government and innovation. It's a lot to process.
It really is. But that's what we're here for, right? To dig deep, ask tough questions, and hopefully come away with a better understanding of this complex world we live in.
Exactly. So for everyone listening, thank you for joining us on this journey to Kenya. We've explored some exciting innovations, grappled with some thorny issues, and hopefully left you with more questions than answers. Because that's what it's all about, isn't it? Keep learning, keep questioning, and keep exploring. We'll see you next time for another deep dive.